Thank you for tuning in and welcome back to Home Selling Tips. In today's video, you'll learn about 5 hard knock lessons people learn selling a house. My name is Andrew Finney. Please consider me your real estate geek. I'm always here to help, and my contact information is in the show more description below and at the end of each video. So let's go ahead and talk about the 5 different things, the 5 different hard knock lessons people learn selling a house. The first one is actually moving considerations. What happens whenever you find a great real estate agent to work with, you are planning out how you're going to do your selling of your home to move into your new one. Let's say that you were buying a new home construction. Where do you go whenever your home sells? I mean, there's 3 really good options that you have here. At the same time, where are you going to go? Sometimes people find themselves moving back in with their family, moving back in with mom and dad, moving in with their grandparents, what have you, if that case is available because they didn't plan it out quite correctly. So what you can do is, before you get ready to list, is actually have an interim housing plan. Either that's going to be a family member, it's going to be a short-term rental, maybe you have another property that you can go to. You need to have the interim housing plan up. Another way that you could get around that is actually having a contingency written in there if the buyer agrees to it, saying that you're going to move out of your old house and into your new home once your new home is done, either whether you're buying a resale when the home is closed or if you're waiting for a new home construction when it closes as well. So that there's a lot of things to consider there, because you're going to have that right buyer that's okay with that. And probably the more common thing that you hear about or that is available to you is actually what's called a lease back, or essentially a rent back. So that's whenever you close on your property and you're now leasing your old former home from the new owner, which is the person that just bought your home. That's a little bit more common. It gives everybody a little bit more flexibility, and that's something that we see a little bit more as short-term lease backs, maybe 2 weeks, 1 month, what have you, while you're going through the process of getting your new home. That's one thing that you can consider as well. So the second hard knock lesson that people learn is they still leave their homes too cluttery, and they see too much of you. They see too much of your element, and it can really derail you and cost you thousands of dollars, if not tens of thousands of dollars, based upon the price of your home. When a buyer walks into your home, it needs to be decluttered. It needs to be free of your personal pictures, your personal religious beliefs, your personal belief system. It needs to be a neutral color palette, neutral a neutral decor. That way they can walk in and see the features and benefits of your home and make sure that they're going to be happy in there and visualize themselves living there, not you. We want to get away from it being yours and get it into being with them, the new buyers, the new owners of your home, so we can get your home sold. The third thing is asking yourself, whenever you're listening to buyer response feedback or buyer agent feedback, or perhaps you've opened escrow and you scratch your head wondering, why the heck didn't we just fix that before? You go into escrow phase, you start fixing everything that was asked to be fixed, or you're listening to certain feedback and you're listening to people stigmatize your property because of the leaky faucet, or because you didn't caulk around the tub, or you didn't redo the grout, or you didn't paint the house, and you're just thinking, why didn't we do that before? Another reason why that you might ask that question is sometimes people wait until about 3 to 6 months before they get ready to sell their home, and they go on like a mad binge of home renovation projects that are going to add value to the property. Your kitchens, your bathrooms, your floors, home maintenance items like the paint, like we talked about a moment ago, that type of stuff, that just go on this massive binge, and then by the time you're done with it, you're like, why didn't we do this 5, 7, 10 years ago to the house? Because now we might not want to sell it because we love our house. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's something for you to consider and be realistic about. So the fourth hard knock lesson is understanding about surveys, specifically as it pertains to different areas of the country. If you have a survey on your property, if it's not like a cookie cutter home, if it's not in a subdivision, if it's not in where there's like in kind homes a lot. Let's talk about what happens with those half-acre lots, those acre-plus lots, those uncommon type homes. You're absolutely going to want to survey to see where your property lines and boundaries are, because what happens if you're selling your property and then you realize that because you have an adjacent property here, maybe there's no easement, or maybe there is an easement on your property for somebody else to access a portion of your property to get to their home, or vice versa. It's very important to understand what kind of issues that you could have with that. So getting surveys, getting pre-listing inspections done, having that conversation with your listing agent, looking through the due diligence together or completing the due diligence together, extremely important. So the fifth hard knock lesson is the emotional attachment to a home. That's whenever you're in escrow, you're getting ready to close and you're coming up on it, and this normally seems to happen with sellers about the second to third week of an escrow. It's like 14 to 21 days in. Sometimes it happens right before closing, and with this emotional attachment where all of a sudden, you're like digging in the hills and you're like, I don't want to sell, I don't want to sell, I don't want to sell. But here's the thing, you got a legally binding contract with the buyer saying that you are going to sell it, and you've passed all these different contingency spots and everybody's moving forward and everybody's happy to do this. But now you're second guessing why you're selling your home, and now you want your home back because that's where you had so many memories. You may have had a family in your home, you may have had kids, grandkids, what have you. Or started your family in that home, and it's important for you to stay focused. While it's completely understandable, it is completely natural for you to feel that way. There's nothing wrong with it. Just stay focused on the goal here. There's a reason that you put your home on the market, and sometimes it's best for you to just go ahead and write down those reasons before you put your home on the market so you can pull out that list and remember it whenever this emotion hits, because it will hit most of us sooner or later when we get ready to sell a home, especially if we really love that home and had a lot of happy memories in that property. So if you remember, hey, we're moving up, we're moving down, we're moving out of state, this is why we're moving, and you're clear on your objective, you're clear on your reasons why, you won't, you'll experience that with more of a sentiment and appreciation and wishing the new family coming in all the happiness in the world in that new house. So if you have some questions about this, or you have some other hard knock lessons you'd like to share with me, I'm going to put my contact information up. Feel free to email me anytime, even if you just want to say hi. I always enjoy hearing from you. And if you learned something new from this video, I'm going to ask you to do 3 things. Number 1, please subscribe to the channel. Number 2, please like this video. And number 3, please share this video around with someone you know is going to be able to help. And before we leave today, I'd like to wish you and your family all the love, wealth, happiness, and abundance in the world. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again next week with Home Selling Tips. Enjoy a fantastic day.